I welcome all of you back to this particular segment of the computer application, and specifically we are going to talk about electronic presentation. There are very many applications that can be used to attempt this number of the electronic presentation, but specifically today we are going to talk about Microsoft PowerPoint is one of the examples we are going to use to attempt such a question. Don't forget to like our page or our YouTube channel where you normally find these tutorials, and for any need or contact you can contact us on those numbers or email for any question that you may not have understood while going through the tutorials. Just like any other application that we need to first know how to save, where to create that file, and so many others. Remember, in word processing we were saving what we call a document, but for this case we are going to be saving what we call a presentation. The file extension for the document was .docx, and for this one is .ppt. We were dealing with pages in Microsoft Word or in word processing, but here in presentations we deal with slides. I will first start with creating a folder on the desktop. That is my location of preference where I need to save my file, and I will create a file called Christine 2020. I will open it, then I right click inside, I go to new, I select Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. I will name it depending on the question. For mine I'm going to save it as coronavirus, because it is the current trend that we are undergoing. So after opening it, that's how it will look like. We'll realize that the file name or the presentation name is coronavirus, just from the title bar here. For any presentation, the first slide should be a title slide unless stated otherwise. So I will go to new, then I will create title slide. And depending on the question always determines which title to use. If they don't tell you, which means you get from the content of that particular question and you come up with a title. So here still I will say coronavirus, and in brackets it is also known as COVID-19. For the subtitle, they normally tell you to include a brief detail about, or a brief description about the presenter. So here I will say presented by maybe I say Mangozi Christine, and maybe I put the address Shireka, Kampala. That is it. So we move the next slide. Again, you go back to the new slide. Then it should be a title and content or any other slide if stated otherwise. We shall create another slide. The second slide will be about the symptoms of coronavirus. The symptoms of COVID-19. We prefer always the titles to always be in uppercase, therefore I will change it and I start typing my symptoms. So having typed my symptoms of COVID-19, I will go and create a third slide. Again, I will go back to the new slide. I select depending on what the question is saying. For this case, again, I will select a title and content slide, and I list this is the title is prevention of COVID-19, and I start typing my preventions. After typing my preventions, I will still go back and create another slide as the question states. Then this is now the conclusion. So the conclusion depends on how you have understood the content of the question, and therefore here I will just give my conclusion as follows. So that is my conclusion as per the topic. So what we have been going through is how to create the slides, and we have known that to create slides we get them from the new slides and we select the layout of any slide depending on the question that it requires. But again, before we conclude the slides, how to create them, now this one was a title and content slide. If you come here, the layout, you can check that it is a title and content slide, but unfortunately this can also be told to be changed. A question may require you to change the layout of a slide after even typing. So you don't need to delete a slide and maybe reinsert it. You just come to the layout here, you come and select any other slide that has been dictated later. Now here I can select my to content slide and I copy some two here, I cut them and paste them on the other hand, such that now it becomes a two content slide without necessarily deleting it or inserting any other slide. So after having learned that, we move to how to edit slides. There are very many ways. There are only two ways of editing or formatting the slides. Either formatting a slide one by one. Let me say, if you want to format the heading or the title here to stencil, you will format it to stencil and maybe to color red, and again you come and also format this maybe to book antiqua, and maybe to color light blue or any other color. It may be yellow or purple. I will select purple for this case. So which means you'll have to go and do all that for each slide if you are choosing that trend. But there is a cheapest way that we shall see as we come to the end of this slide. So here I'm going to teach about the slide master. The slide master is used to change all the slides in a presentation, or to format all slides in the presentation at once without necessarily going on each individual slides. Once you come to the slide master, you make sure you select this first slide with figure 1 and then highlight the title such that you format it to stencil the one we wanted or the one we changed to the first slide. The color was red. We go to this one, the subtitles, we select book antiqua, and the color we selected the purple. So we shall check whether it works. By doing that, you have seen now all slides have changed, which means we go back again to view and select our slide master. We go and select our title. We go to the animations. These are visual effects that are applied on slide contents like texts and images, or the visual movement effects applied to text content, e.g. that is to a slide content, e.g. that is a text or an image. So here we shall select bounce, and in the preview it is shown that it has been applied. We go here, maybe we can get more entrance effects, and we go to the exciting group and we select Philip. Yes, then we can go back to the slide master again and go to the background. We format the background. Then here we can select either solid fill, that is for a single color. We can select gradient fill, that is for more than one color. So here I will come and preset the colors all. I can still use my own colors of preference. I will select light blue, I will select yellow, and again select light blue. I'll come to the type and select radio. The direction, I may choose this one, depending on how attractive you want your presentation to look like. You will apply to all and later close. You come to the transitions. This one you can apply it from here or you can apply it from the other side. It has no problem. So we shall come and close the slide master. You go to the transitions. You can still apply it from here. You say, okay, I want to apply any of these ones. For my case, I will select the vortex and it will preview. The sound, I will select a bomb. Then for the duration, I may skip it. I may remove a mouse click. Then I select the automatically after 3 seconds and say apply to all. You may be told to apply a speaker note on the third slide. You count the third slide. The speaker note is always found here. So you type a speaker note of staying home is the best solution. So that is a speaker note. Again, you may be told again to insert another speaker note on the second slide. Keeping a social distance. Keeping the social distance is very vital. So those are called speaker notes. Lastly, another thing that you may be asked about is to loop your presentation continuously until the escape key is pressed. So you come to the slideshow tab, you go to the setup slideshow, then you come and check the box of loop continuously until escape. And by that, once you go to the slideshow, you will see that when your presentation runs from the first slide, the second slide, the third, and then the last slide, you see that it will have to go back to the first slide until the escape key is pressed. So that is now the second slide, the symptoms. When you go to the third slide, the preventions. When you move to the last slide, finally, it goes back to the first slide just as you see. So that comes after you have looped. Things that we don't need to forget are the headers and footers. Even here they do apply, and slide numbers. When you select a slide number or when you check the box, it will be included just on the right hand side of the slide. Then for the footer, you can type there maybe Christine 2020. Time, for the time they may tell you to select either an automatically updated time or a fixed. So when they tell you a fixed, you come here. When they tell you automatically updated, you come and select here. Then you look for format. If they have talked about both date and time, you look for format that has both date and time, and then you apply to all. But now that was the footer, the time and date, then the slide number. What about the header? The header is also got from here, but on this notes and handouts tab. Now when you come to notes and handouts tab, which means the header cannot appear on a single slide, but only it can appear on a handout. A handout is that paper where more than one slide has been printed on. We are going to see that. All a notes page where the speaker notes are also indicated. So we shall come check our heading. I've already taught the date, therefore I will not waste time on it. The heading may be Corona Virus Alert. then the footer may be COVID-19. And then you apply to all. So you will see that for the header it has not appeared anywhere which we expected to be up in the top margins of the slide as in word processing and other applications, but here it doesn't. So where do we get that one? When we come to the view tab and then we select handout master, you will realize that our header is here, the date is here, the slide number, and then the footer is also there. Now this is the handout where more than one slide is printed on the single page, and you can select them from here that I want 4 slides per page. Then you close and you come to the print preview and see whether this thing has come out the way you want. You come and select 4 slides per page. So this is what we call the handout. You will see that the header is there, the date is there, the footer is there, and the page number is there. I've not gone through how you change the fonts, the colors, because I taught those ones in our previous tutorials as we went through the word processing and specifically the home tab. I wish you well and I wish you success as you do the computer practical examinations from your different institutions and schools. I remain Frank MCC, your tutor. Don't forget to like our pages and our YouTube channel where you get these tutorials. Thank you so much.